Good morning. I'm going to adjust this camera a little bit. A little far out. Okay. I had to move things around, so I wasn't sure I had set it back the right way. So, how is everyone this morning? Hopefully good. It's cold in this room now. Still have that window out. But my parts shipped yesterday. So I'm hopeful that someday we'll have another window in the room. That'll be an improvement. What else is going on today? Not a whole lot. Dave had to go in. He's been working from home, but they're doing some upgrades, I guess, to people's laptops and tablets and things, so they can work at home and communicate with Zoom and some different other things like that. I guess the work computers and things that people have, there's a lot of security settings that need to be fiddled with, so it's not something simple you can do yourself. So people have to bring everything in, and they do it and upgrade it, and then they can take it. So he's been doing that a couple times a week when they have these events. So it's a long day of dealing with a lot of people, wearing your mask all day, which is never a lot of fun. Even the fabric masks are, they're okay, but it's kind of a pain to wear them all day long. And I miss when he's home because he helps me with lots of things. It's nice to have him home too, but he also helps me with a lot of things, which is really nice. It's nice to have another grown up around the house. So we'll wait till about 5 past. I'm just sitting and breathing. I remembered what I wanted to tell you at the end of the last class. I was thinking about, see, I've got a little space there by the wall. And I was thinking that we could do a little yoga up the wall stuff. But I don't know. It depends what everybody else has got. I don't know if I want to devote a whole class to it, because some people may not really have a lot in the way of walls, wall space, wherever they are practicing. So I may throw a few things in. But again, if you've got a wall, great. If you don't have a wall, that's okay, because we don't all have the wall space. All right, 5 past. So sitting up, relaxing the shoulders. Keeping that steady breath. Focus is inward. Notice sensations in the body. And we're checking in to see what's going on today. So I like to think of this like, on one hand, we have this to-do list, things we want to get done for the day. And on the other hand, we have how we are feeling today. So don't try to pile on that to-do list until you know where you are with the other list. You may need to push some things off if today isn't going to work out. You may decide you have a little more time. You can take on a little bit more. You get to decide. Let's bring hands together, and we're going to do our Shanti, little Shanti mantra. Deep breath in. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And then just bring the hands back down. Take a couple of breaths. And I'm going to move back for more warm up. Sitting upright. Let's walk the hands out a little ways. Coming back up. Hands behind, fingertips pointing away from the body. Gazing up. And back up to your seat. Drop the chin down. Moving the head around. One way and then the other. Back up to your seat. Lean forward. And then we're moving around with the body. One way for a couple of times and then reversing. And back up to your seat, arms wide. Deep breath in, exhale, hands together. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. One more, inhale and exhale. Interlace the fingers. Lift the arms, gaze up. And then arms down by your side. Inhale, lift. And lower. Lift. And lower. One more, lifting up. Bring the left arm down. We're reaching across with the right. Switch. And back up. Lift the shoulders, roll back. And forward. Right hand on left knee, left arm behind you. Sit up tall and twist. Back to center. Switch sides. And back to your center. Coming to tabletop. And then back on the heels. Child's pose. So if you've got knees together, let's walk them out a little ways. See if we can go a little lower in this. And coming back up. Tabletop. Let's take a few sets of cat-cow here, lowering the belly, lift up the head, and then reversing that movement. So we're lifting the body, just working through loosening the spine up a little. And back into child's pose. Maybe stack the fists so you can rest the forehead. And back up. Tabletop to downward dog. Walk it out a little. Step the feet up to the hands. We're here to fold. Take a few breaths. And rising up. Standing tall here. Breath in, breath out. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. On the exhale, right foot steps back. Set your knee down, arms overhead. Hands down to the mat. We're moving back to downward dog. Inhale, coming forward to high plank. Let's hold here for a breath. And lower down. Inhale, lifting up head and chest. And lower. Inhale, lift. And lower. One more, lifting up. And lower. Moving back up, tabletop to downward dog. Take one more breath here, and then right foot steps up. We'll set the left knee down, Arms overhead. And then hands to the mat. Back foot steps up. Fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lifting the arms. Back to mountain. Take a breath in and out. Inhale, arms reach high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, left foot steps back. Drop the knee, arms overhead. And then hands to the mat. Step that right foot back. Downward dog again. Come on forward, high plank. Hold for a breath. Maybe 2 breaths. And lower down. Inhale, we're lifting up. Head and chest. Lower. Inhale, lift. And lower. And once more, either just lifting head and chest, or we could come all the way up, upward dog, and then moving back, downward dog. Take one more breath, and then we're stepping that left foot up. Right knee on the mat, arms overhead. And hands down to the mat. Back foot steps up. And fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up the arms. And we're back to mountain. Take a breath here, in and out. Inhale, lift, arms high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, we're stepping back with the left. Press down with both feet. Arms high. Warrior one. Take another breath, and then we're moving to warrior two. Right arm extends out, left arm behind. Breathe. On an inhale, we're going to straighten the right knee. Lift that right arm high. And then lowering the right arm, lifting the left, coming into our triangle. And back up. Release the hand. And we're going to turn the foot. So we're facing the side of the mat. Ready for a fold. Take a breath. And then leaning forward. Hands could come down onto the mat. Whatever you want to do. Bring hands to the waist and engage the legs. So you're using that leg strength to help lift. Up to stand. Breath in, breath out. And then we're going to fold again. So for this one, we're just going to leave hands at the waist, fold forward. And then bringing the hands down anywhere on the legs. You know, you might be down on the calves. You could be down at the ankles. Maybe you do yogi toe lock, which is first two fingers to the inside of the big toe. Thumb wraps around. Right. So if you do have the toes, we're going to extend. I have a flat back for your inhale. Exhale. We're just pulling a little on the toes. Toes are pressing down. Drawing the body closer. And then same thing again, hands to the waist, rising up. Take a breath. If you feel lightheaded, don't forget, hands up over the head helps with that. And then we're going to turn, so we're facing the front of the mat. Right leg is out in front, left behind, one foot on either side of the mat, so you feel you've got like a nice wide space here. Arms behind you, interlace the fingers, shoulders back, and then folding forward. Breathe. Rising up, back foot steps up to the front, arms up overhead, and back to mountain. Breath in and breath out. Inhale, lifting arms high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. On the exhale, right foot steps back, press down, and rise up. Warrior one. Take a breath, and then move to warrior two. Left arm is extending out, right arm behind, shoulders relaxed. We're gazing out over that front hand. On your next inhale, straighten the left knee, lift that arm high, left arm is high, and then lowering. Left arm comes down, right arm is lifting. Triangle. Back up. Hands to your side, turn the foot. Another fold here. So if you tend to be pretty wide with your stance, maybe try a little less wide this time. Or vice versa. If you're usually pretty narrow, try a little bit further. Just try something different. This one, we're going to interlace the fingers behind the back, draw the shoulders together. So it may be, if you can, we work towards getting the palms together. If that isn't going to work, you can also kind of pull the hands apart, right? So you've got the fingers interlaced, you're kind of really holding with that. I don't like this as much because I feel like my fingers don't really like that kind of pressure on them. So I'd rather be pressing the palms together, right? It just feels stronger to me, more using the hands instead of just the fingers. But you do whatever you want. or nothing. You could just grab wrists or whatever. Take a breath. Lean forward. So you can have arms kind of relaxed here if the shoulders don't feel great. If you feel strong and you're interlacing the hands, squeezing the shoulders back, you lift the arms up. But it doesn't have to be that way. You could do a little one way and then something else. And then whatever you're doing, hands back to the waist, rising up. Breath in and out. And one more. We're going to fold forward. This time, just bring the hands down. So we're going to be either on the mat here with the hands. If you can't reach, then you could use a block. Or you could just hang out where you are if you don't have a block. We're going to bring the right hand to the center, left hand at the hip, pressing down with your hand. We're going to rotate, lift up that left arm. If you're up here, then just turn, right? Turn your shoulders. You can kind of pull this arm back if you want. You know, we're just twisting. So however you can twist is fine. Then back to center, and we're going to switch. Right arm lifts. And back to center, rising up. Take a breath. And then facing the front again. Left foot is out, right foot behind. Interlacing the fingers. Squeeze back the shoulders, breath in. Fold forward. And then rising up, back foot, steps to the front, arms overhead, back to mountain. Breath in and out. And let's work on some balance. So to start, standing on the left foot, let's just bring up the right knee. So you have hands at the waist, you could also have them out to the side. It's up to you. And set the foot down, switch sides. And foot down, bicycle out the legs. We're gonna do that pendulum thing that we did yesterday. So we've got hands at the hips or the waist. Standing up tall, we're gonna start with moving the right leg. So we're using the left leg as our standing leg. We're lifting up that right foot and then bringing it through center. You might touch down if you want to kind of get a little steadiness, and then you're lifting the opposite way. So trying to go about the same distance. You're going to have to kind of estimate that by just how it feels. And moving to the back. And set your foot down. Take a breath. Working on the other side then. Left foot lifts out in front and then moves back. Coming back to center. One more, lifting up. And bringing it to the back. And set the foot down. Bicycle the legs. And let's do tree, because we didn't do it to start. And I bet you thought we weren't. You probably felt sad. So, right foot is setting up somewhere. Right knee out to the side. Hands to center. Nice and strong. And put down. Switch sides. Standing on the right. Breathe. And set it down. Bicycle legs. And then we're back to the mat at the top. Arms overhead. Fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, we're stepping back. Downward dog. Inhale. Coming to high plank, and then lower down. Head turns to the right. Press that left ear in the mat if you can. Remember my little trick, move forward if you're having trouble reaching your head down. And I like to bring toes together, heels out. It just feels relaxing to me. And back to center. We're going to bring the arms all the way out in front. And on the inhale, we're going to lift up the head and the chest, the arms together, the legs, and breathe. And lower down. Head turns to the left, arms by your side again. And back to your center. Setting up for Sphinx pose. Wrapped up on the elbows. Elbows are under the shoulders, close to the body. Hands pressing down. And then we're kind of pressing down with the hands, pulling back with the shoulders, gazing forward. And then resting back down on the mat. Let's bring one hand on top of the other. Set the forehead down so you're just keeping your head to center. And then let's start moving back up, tabletop to child's pose. Tabletop to downward dog. And then walking up and coming to a seat on the mat. So we'll have soles of the feet together, sitting up tall. Take a deep breath and fold. Coming back up, both legs out in front. Lift the arms, deep breath, and fold. Coming back up, let's bend the right knee, bringing it either to the inside of the thigh or up on the leg, whatever you want here. Deep breath, and then we're reaching forward, left hand for left foot, and breathe. Back up. Switch sides. Take that breath, and then reaching right hand down with the foot. Back up, both legs out. One more fold. Lift high and fold. Back up. Bend the knees. Soles of the feet to the mat. And then lowering down or rocking back. Coming onto your mat here. Maybe hug knees into the chest. You can move a little side to side. And then extend the legs. And take a few breaths, resting on the mat. Bending the knees. Let's bring the right ankle on top of the left knee. You might be staying right here if this feels like a lot on the hip already, or you're bringing the leg in, interlacing the fingers behind the thigh, kind of drawing this closer to the body. You could extend the left leg if you want. And then set it back down. Switch sides. And then whatever we did on the other side, we'll do on this side as well. Then both feet back to the mat. We're going to set up for bridge. So heels back, close to the body. Hands by your side. We're going to press down, hands and feet, lifting up. You can interlace the fingers if you want. And lower. Soles of the feet together, knees apart. Relax and breathe. And then bringing knees to center. Let's bring them into the chest, rock a little side to side. And then goalpost arms or arms to a T. We're going to start lowering both knees over to the right. Gazing left. Back to center. Knees go left. Gazing right. And back to your center. Extend the arms by your side. Legs extend long. And then we're kind of pressing down with the hands to sort of support the body as you're lowering, one at a time or both together. Legs come down toward the mat. And find a comfortable place for you to stay here for Shavasana. Just relaxing the breath. It doesn't have to be a lot of deep breathing here. You can have a very natural breath. You almost don't even want to have to breathe. You can just let your body breathe on its own. Notice how you're feeling. What's going on with the body now? Hopefully, you feel a little more loose, a little warmed up, a little relaxed, maybe. I love a morning practice because it really, for me, sets the tone for the day. You get a chance to kind of see how you are as a baseline, right? Not after people have been bugging you all day long or you've had all this stuff to do and gotten kind of frazzled. Most of the time, we haven't been doing that much before we get to class. And especially now, when we're all at home, um, really nothing probably has happened before you you're doing class. So it's a good way to really see how you are um, right out of you know right out of bed and out of nothing, basically. If you feel super anxious, well, I mean, that may be your current state right now. And that might be something that you want to focus on. Focus on trying to work on lessening that anxiety, or even just kind of talking to yourself about that. Why? What is it that is making us so anxious? One technique that I have heard of and learned and used with, I will say not unqualified success, is something called "so what?" And you think about what it is that's causing you anxiety, and you say to yourself, "Well, so what?" Or then what? So what? I've heard it also then what, which I like a little bit better. So what seems kind of like it's kind of attitude, but it might work for you. I don't know. Um, the idea is trying to get to the root. What is, I'm afraid um, that that this might happen. Well, then what? Well, if this happens, then this will happen. Okay, so if that happens, then what? Then what? And coming down to what is at the root of our worries. Um, and sometimes it's surprising. It's not at all what you think it is. Um, and the idea being, once you've seen that, once you've sort of seen what's at the bottom of all of that, it's easier to cope with. It's easier to it it's like, pulling the curtain off and seeing the man behind the mirror. It's not at all what you expected. It's not as big or as scary or as insurmountable. Um, so that's possible, a possible thing to do if you feel like you need that. But I think one thing that can really help us all the time, but especially kind of right now when we're sort of trying to find our way in all this new stuff, is focusing more on what you think and less on what others think. Um, and that's, it's a two pronged process here. So a lot of times um, people understand the idea of rejecting negative input. So if people are telling you that what you're doing is wrong or stupid or dumb or whatever, um, people get, okay, yeah, I shouldn't listen to that. That's not helpful. But what they don't get is the praise isn't helpful either, right? People will tell you, oh, yeah, that's so great. You're doing such a good job. It's amazing, and they often have their own reasons for doing that. And even though it's nice to hear those things, it's very easy to kind of start to rely on that, to rely on, other people's good opinion to support your own feelings, um, which is just as detrimental as listening to all that negative talk, right? We want to get to a point where we honestly don't care that much what other people think, because we know what we're doing is what we need to do. There will be some people that love it. There will be some people that hate it. There will be a lot of people that just don't care at all. And that's great. That's fine. Um, we need to do what's right for us. And we need to make those decisions without all the noise and the input, right? Being influenced by what other people think, what they like, what they don't like. In this culture, we've gotten into this whole thing of, the likes and the dislikes and everything online and getting everybody's opinion about everything, which is fine. I mean, people seem to enjoy giving their opinion about everything in the world, but I don't think we need to listen to it. You know what's important. You know what you need. And if you don't think you know, you just have to go a little deeper. Listen to what your spirit is telling you, to what your body is telling you. Um, you you can't go wrong with that. So moving, getting everything going again, fingers and toes, hands and feet, and making your way up to your seat. We'll bring hands together, take a breath in and out. Thank you for taking time for yoga today, for sharing it with me virtually. And I hope you have a really great Thursday. Namaste. Thank you. Hi, Key. I just saw your thing. Um, the chat is pretty good, but I can only see it if I'm sitting here. If I'm back here, I can't see it. So if you want to chat or you have anything to say, I can look at it, when I get closer to the machine. So that's about it. Anybody have questions or anything? Kathleen? Thank you for coming. You're very welcome. Hope you guys have a good day. It's supposed to be cold. I think this whole weekend's going to be cold. Hi, Rachel. Um, so so much for spring. Maybe you'll be back again someday. Oh, hi, Sue. All right. Well, I'll be back here tomorrow.